Today we are going to make a delicious rice A Roni, as well as some chicken cutlets and some nice sides of both spinach and green beans. Let's check out our ingredients. Follow me. Alrighty, so I love the boxed Rice A Roni. It's super cheap, super easy to make, as I'll show you. All the instructions are also right on the box as well, so you don't really need, a culinary degree to figure out how to make it. Like I said before, for our sides, we're going to do some nice spinach as well as some French-style green beans. I just love the French style. I think they're delicious. We're going to be also using, for our chicken cutlets, our breadcrumbs, our mixture. If you remember when we made our Italian chicken sandwich, we made a mixture of breadcrumbs while also using black pepper, red crushed pepper, Italian seasoning, and parsley. So that's exactly what's in that container right now. So, if you want to learn how to mix those together, even though I already told you how to make them, just use that kind of mixture together to make the breading. We then also have some canola oil, an egg or two, depends on how many pieces of chicken you are making, some butter as well, you can use either or. You will need a measuring cup, 2 different pans, one for the Rice A Roni and one for the chicken, a cutting board to also make sure you cut out your pieces of chicken, kind of like how I have this one, how I butterflied it and made a nice thin piece. A can opener, a knife obviously, and a spatula or a couple spoons in order to stir everything together. So let's start making sure our chicken's all set up. Let's crack open the egg and let's get those breadcrumbs and that chicken breaded. Let's go. Okay, so we have our 1 egg already mixed and battered up. We're just gonna pour just a little bit of our breadcrumb mixture in here. Yep, that should do it. And now I have 3 small pieces of chicken, so that way I think the 1 egg will be fine, and when we kind of test it, I'll show you. Alright, so again, putting in our chicken and egg, you just want a 1, 2, 3. Just make sure that, all egg kind of gets on it. That's going to be like our glue, to stick our breadcrumb on it. Just going to lay it across. I would just kind of give it a good pounding a little bit. A little pressing to make sure it's good on both sides, right? Really make sure it's in. Take it out. A bit of a shuffle. Go the other way. And again, just really make sure it's good. There's some little flaps over here, so you can just pick up a little bit. Add a little bit. Nice. Look at the sides, too. There we go. Okay. So there's that 1 piece. Now we're just going to do it again for our other 2 pieces. Alrighty, so before we even start to worry about the chicken, we're first going to start doing our Rice A Roni, right? And again, like I said, the instructions are already on the back. Super easy. And the only 2 things you need is butter and water. That's pretty much it. So right now, in a large skillet, we're going to combine the rice mixed with the butter or the margarine. We're going to use butter, and we're going to saute over a medium heat until our rice actually turns golden brown. So we already have the butter on here, right? And I have it on a medium heat, like number 7 or so. Like, I'm just going to make sure that all the butter is completely melted off to the side, right? Kind of smear it on. This is just to make sure that the rice, when you pour it on here, right, it doesn't stick to the pan. And now looking it over, I might have done a little more than just a tablespoon, but it's okay. Alrighty, and once that butter starts to really melt, we're then gonna add the rice. Because we have all that excess butter, we're gonna use it in our extra pan for the chicken, right? Perfect. Okay, now that that's set, we'll put that pan off to the side. We're not turning it on. We're now going to open up our box of Rice A Roni. Make sure you take out the seasoning packet. We do not want to mix that in yet. And we I'm going to pour in the rice, just like that. Okay, now that we have that, right, now that we poured it in here, you're just going to kind of keep sauteing it until all this golden brown white rice becomes a lot darker. You want a nice, dark golden brown. So basically, all this white that you see is going to quickly go away pretty soon. So we're going to let that sit, and we're going to keep mixing it. We want to make sure that nothing sticks to this pan. Now don't be afraid like I'm doing, give it a couple flips, shake it all around. Again, you want to make sure that none of those pieces of rice are going to get stuck. Or you're going to try your damnedest not to. Alrighty, so as that's slowly becoming more brown than white, you guys can kind of tell by the color, we're now going to turn on our other little pan over here, right, with all the other oil. We're going to put that again on like a medium. Again, this rice is still going to take some time to cook because we still have to add the water and the seasoning to it, and then the water slowly then boils off. So we don't want the chicken to be cooked on a too high of a temperature. So as that other pan starts to kind of sizzle, we can then add some of our pieces of chicken. We're just gonna add our 2 little pieces for now. We'll add the big piece later. Clearly we can't fit those 2 in the pan. So let's check again underneath. Okay, yeah, see how there's a lot more? It's getting brown. It's not nearly golden brown yet. Some of it's just starting to turn. We're just gonna wait a little bit longer. Alrighty, you guys can see now it's a lot more golden brown. We're gonna wait a couple more seconds. But while that starts, right, I'm just gonna grab my measuring cup and just get, 1 cup of warm water at the ready. If you remember, the recipe, right, says 2.5 cups. So we're gonna have to fill that up 1 more time and another half when it's ready. Let's turn this over. Oh yeah, a lot more brown now. I think it's ready. I think we can do it. So we're gonna slowly pour in this 1 cup. Don't be scared. It's going to sizzle very loudly when you do this. All right. And we're gonna keep stirring it. There we go. Now we're gonna add our other cup. And then our last half a cup. Perfect. Now, as we added the water in, you want to remember, the moment that's done, you're now going to open up your seasoning. Put it from the side, right? And try to make sure you get as much of it as you can. So pop it open. Okay. And now you're just going to really just make sure it all mixes in. Now, if you have a lid to your pan, it's also best to cover it right now, so as it's boiling or bubbling, it'll be easier to cook with, too. We're now just going to leave that sit literally for around 15 minutes or so. We're just going to keep stirring it slowly but surely, right? And then that's going to be done, and then we just have our piece of the chicken to worry about as well. So I'll keep you posted anything when the stuff happens again. Oh, just listen to that sizzle. Alright, so this is already starting to go down the water. I've been occasionally keep flipping the chicken. As you guys can see, you already kind of hear the oil bubbling. Occasionally, I've been sprinkling some grounded black pepper in here. I think this is just all you really need to make this really good. I don't have it, and I'm not going to use it, but what you could do when you're making Rice A Roni and chicken, usually you could just have some ketchup onto the side. Right, have some, which I might actually do now saying that out loud. But once these are all done, and this will be done pretty soon, right, we're then going to get our green beans cooked up, same with our spinach. We put a little butter on top and make a nice little, nice sides for all this. It's going to be really good. So just for letting this sit literally for 3 minutes, right, the water has already gone down drastically, right? You barely even see it. That's how you know this is coming out really, really well. And you're just gonna let this keep stirring it. This is pretty much almost done. And then for the chicken, right, it's in that nice dark brown color on top. So these are almost done. And then I'll put that other big piece in too, probably. Just listen to that sound. Oh, delicious. Alrighty, so as this is being done, and I'm going to swap out chicken pretty soon, I think now it's the perfect time to add your green beans and your spinach. I would just start heating that up now, right? Either putting it in the microwave, if you want to put it on a separate pan to saute those again, you're more than happy to. But I would start doing that now, as these are practically within the next 5 minutes almost done. Alrighty, I just put in the other piece of chicken. So now see how this is all now like a big conglomerate, more or less, right? Like there's no water, it's not really separating. This is pretty much done. It's just gonna be very watery at first, just because, or it's gonna taste like mushy, just because the water is still in here. So if you just let that sit on a low while the rest of everything cooks, it's gonna dry out to look a lot nicer. I'm actually gonna put the other 2 pieces of chicken, right, just in the middle. Let everything kind of cook together. You could even kind of cut little pieces up like what I'm doing, and just kind of have that be served with it, and then have that big piece of chicken just kind of be like your main meat, while this is kind of like just mixed in with the rice. Alrighty, so I put the spinach already in here. The flame on the Rice A Roni is now turned up to like a medium. But now, just adding that spinach is really just gonna make this dish pop. That nice sweet flavor of the spinach to go with the blackened pepper of the chicken that we added in here. And already with the nice Rice A Roni, it will be great. Add that with, again, our other big piece of chicken, our green beans on the side, and then do a little ketchup glaze on top. This will be fantastic. Alrighty, now as the spinach is basically done cooking in here with the rice, we have our delicious piece of chicken that is also done. And I just finished up the green beans with a little bit of butter on top. That way it's a little sweeter as well. I think, guys, within the next couple seconds, I think it's time for the presentation. Alrighty, and now the time has come for my favorite part, the presentation. So we're gonna start with our Rice A Roni and spinach and chicken mixture. Make a nice little kind of little bedside area, right? Another nice, decent scoop. Oh my. Perfect right here. We are then going to add our piece of chicken right there. And then some of our green beans off to the side. And then if you want to touch it off, what's missing is just a little bit of that ketchup glaze. So we're just some pieces on top, and a little squirt for the chicken. Alrighty, guys, and that will do it for this delicious episode. Take care, everybody. Happy eating.